Georgie was reading a book on the landing of the front hall stairs. The window on the landing was open. She looked up to see the wind tossing the branches of the big tree outside. If one leaf touches another leaf, thought Georgie, it doesn't make any noise at all. But when all the leaves touch each other, the tree whispers all over. Then she saw the big birds in the sky. They were flying over the tree, making a loud noise. Oh, swans, thought Georgie. She jumped up and watched the swans fly in a ragged line over the house. They were not white like swans in a book. They were white and gray and black. They were flying so low over the tree, Georgie could hear the sound of the air flowing through their feathers. It made a soft noise. Shh, shh, shh. If only I could fly like that, thought Georgie. If only I could do it again. Because she had done it. She had. She knew she had. She had waked up in the middle of the night. She had jumped down the stairs in 2 great floating bounds. Unless it was only a dream. Georgie turned around on the landing and looked at the 12 stairs falling steeply to the downstairs hall. Below her, the bronze lady stood on the newel post, gazing as usual out the front door, holding her light fixture in one upraised hand. Her light was turned off. The hall was dark. Only the white marble head of Henry Thoreau glimmered in the watery gloom. Henry was a statue in the curve of the stairs, a carved bust on a tall stand. Everything else in the front hall was nearly invisible in the murky shade of the downstairs, but through the oval glass of the door, Georgie could see a piece of the front yard. The sun was shining brilliantly on the green grass beyond the porch, and on scraps of long legs and big feet and shorts and skirts and blue jeans. Georgie's mother and Uncle Freddie were teaching a Saturday morning class in the front yard. Teachers and students were sitting in a circle on the grass. It was Uncle Freddie's school. Georgie's mother and Uncle Freddie had a school right here in the house, and in the front yard and in the backyard, and sometimes they even held classes way up in the branches of the apple tree. It was a college, really, with a funny name, the Concord College of Transcendental Knowledge. This year they were studying a book by Henry Thoreau, who had lived in Concord, Massachusetts, down the road at Walden Pond, a long time ago. Uncle Freddie liked to pretend that Mr. Thoreau wasn't dead. He called him Henry, as if he were an old friend. "Nice morning, Henry," he would say to the white marble bust in the hall, or, "Henry, old man, listen to this." And then Henry would gaze wisely at the wall with his unblinking marble eyes, as if he were listening with his stony ears and wondering and thinking it all over in his mind. Georgie stood on the landing and listened. From the kitchen she could hear a murmur of voices and a clatter of dishes. Eddie and Eleanor were bumping around in the kitchen having a snack. She put her feet, side by side, on the top step. Then she took something out of her pocket and looked at it. It was a milkweed pod from the meadow across the street. Downy seedlings were puffing out of the pod. Georgie pulled one free, tossed it over her head, and blew it high. The milkweed seedling twirled, then wafted sideways like a fluffy parasol. Georgie took a deep breath and blew it down the stairs. Lightly it drifted halfway down, and then it was caught by a little draft from the crack around the front door. Up it went again. At last it floated against Henry Thoreau's marble ear and clung there. "I can do that, too,"